Hi, Stacy here with Bluebird Paper and Thread. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today is Saturday, April 15th? Yes, Saturday, April 15th. Whirlwind of a week, so I don't even know which way is up. I got the Farrah Fawcett hair going on today a little bit. I just blew dry it. This is what happened. Whatever. I hope you had a great week. If you're new to my channel, welcome. This is a channel on cross-stitching, a little bit of quilting, sewing, eventually paper crafting, card making, gift card holders, money holders, treat boxes, that kind of a thing. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you are new, please, if you like what you see, make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that you know when I upload new content. Speaking of uploading new content, last week's video went up a little bit later than what I wanted because my computer has no storage apparently. So I've been struggling with it for a couple of weeks now. I have to delete previous content in order to process my videos and get them up on YouTube, and it takes a little bit longer. So today we're actually going to go and get me a new computer. I'm done with it. I need a bigger screen. I'm kind of setting things up so I can, kind of start working on my crafty business. I need a computer for that. So it's just time. I don't really want to spend the money, but what else are you going to do? So anyways, this week I did not a lot of whips. I worked several nights on a few projects, and I'm so glad that I did that. We'll get into whips in a second. What I would like to show you first is Easter. We had a great Easter. It was really nice. We had it here at my house. Mom always brings the adult children, her adult children, and their significant others, and the grandchildren, which would be our children, a little something. This year I got the cutest little bunny. She likes to crochet, I'm not sure if I'm going to say it right, amigurumi animals, and she sells them at like boutiques that we do, craft shows that we do, and she loves doing it because she prices them at a point where the preteen kids or the little kids who have $5 or $6 can come and buy one, and they usually love it. So that's what she likes to do, and she made this little bunny. His name is Pierre. His little beret at the top, I mean, he's so cute. He has a little tail on his bum, and on the back she always puts a little heart charm that says made with love. So I was so excited because I told her, oh, I want one of these. I forget about everything. So I kind of forgot about it. And then when I got it, I was very excited. So I have Pierre. Pierre has a little girlfriend, and I think that's coming to me on my birthday, but I have to wait till August. So anyways, he's part of my Easter decorations and I absolutely love him. So I had to share because he's so cute. Okay, now on to whips. I spent a little bit of time on Keeper of the Pins by Brenda Gervais, and I'm working on this one right back here, the spool with the stacked tomatoes. And I'm almost ready to add the strawberry that's hanging down on my thread. So the strawberry goes here. Whoops, here. I'm struggling today. So the spool is a little bit more than halfway done, I believe. Yeah, more than halfway done. So this one's close to a finish. Maybe I'll get a chance to finish it this week. I have another pretty crazy week coming up. I have to work a really long day on Tuesday. I may have to work Thursday evening. I don't think so, but and then Saturday we have a big event happening on Saturday, a grand opening of a second location. It's gonna take all day. It is what it is. Anyway, so I'm not sure if I'll get to it this week, but it's close enough it could happen. I'm using the called for flosses, and I am stitching this on 36 count vintage country Mocha linen. Just a really nice muted color palette. So I would love to get these done. I want to make them into pillows, and I want them here in my craft room. They just, I think, are going to make me so happy. So I really want to work on those. Next, I put in a couple of nights on Halloween Quaker. I am stitching this on 40 count Murky Newcastle linen. I think it's 40 count. Oh, Murky Belfast linen, sorry. It calls for Newcastle. I got Belfast. And I worked on the witch. So it's almost halfway done. My focus this past week was on the witch. I only had the top part of her head done. So I finished her silhouette. I started on the broom. I have to do straight stitches around her nose and her chin, and then she is riding through a moon, a crescent moon, and then the witch motif will be done. So you can see I'm moving along on this one. This linen, can I just tell you, I love it. I really, really am enjoying stitching on this. There's a couple of Teresa Kogut Halloween charts, and I have been thinking about it. I'm loving the way this orange is popping off, and their orange. I think if I have any left, I'm going to stitch those on this. If not, I'm going to have to buy another cut of this fabric so that I can stitch those orange. I think it's a cat that looks like a clown, scary, vintagey looking. So, anyways. So it felt good to bring this one out. It hasn't been out for a while. I may stitch on this a little bit more. I'm using the called for flosses. They are a bit of a mess, even though they're all on drops. If you guys can hear airplanes, I apologize. I live really close to a municipal airport, and the weather's really nice today, so everybody's out flying, and they fly right over my house because I'm under the flight path. Anyways, so I made some progress on that. I wanted to also share, I have been using, let's see if I can do this without exposing a lot of the chart. I have been using highlighting tape right here. I bought some through Fat Quarter Shop, and I use it for several purposes. If I make a mistake and I want to remember to go back, or if I skip a thread color because there's only one or two places where it goes and I want to move on and come back to it, I will mark it with a piece of that tape. It's low tack, but not so low tack that it doesn't stick to the paper, but not tacky enough to pull the ink and the paper when you remove it. It's really nice. So what I do is, as I was stitching the witch, a lot of counting, a lot of distractions going on in my house. So I wound up stitching 2 or 3 rows and then going back and double and triple counting and then moving my tape down. So it would be a place marker for me. And that's kind of how I got through the witch, doing the same thing with the broom, just because it's an easy way to mark my place on the chart when I can't finish a motif. So if you haven't tried it, you might want to look into it. Wasn't very expensive. I really like it. And one little piece, I mean, this roll of tape, it comes on like a Scotch tape dispenser. This roll is gonna last me like years because you don't use very much of it. The last whip that I worked on, let's see, one strand. It helps. This is the one where I constantly am pulling out two strands of floss, and then I have to rip the whole thing out. But this is Land That I Love by Teresa Kogut. I have finally figured out where I want to put this in my house. So, it was my birthday start last year, I believe, and I want to get it finished. So I've got 4 months roughly to get it finished. So I spent a few nights on it. I am on the 3rd house, and it is, I love the houses, and I get so excited when I see them in a chart. I do not like stitching them. I really don't. It's a lot. This takes a while to do this side of the house when there's nothing else in between. It takes a while to go across. So anyways, so this is my progress. I believe the last time that I showed you the progress, I only had a little bit of this part right here done. So I worked my way over. Now I'm working on filling in. So I find that if I'm breaking it up in sections, it's going a little bit easier, a little quicker. It's not as boring. But this one's going to be a big one. This is only roughly a little more than a third across. When I finish the house, which you can see it, I'm working. I've done this, and part of this, and part of this, and the door, and the steps. So I have this to do, and then I've got to fill in all of this in here, and then this whole piece. Oh, and Land That I Love. That'll be about maybe a third done, a little more than a third done. So if I dedicate a couple of nights a week to this, maybe some time on the weekend, a few hours on the weekend, I think I have a shot of getting it done by my birthday. I don't know if I'll be able to get it framed by my birthday, but it will be done. And now that I know where I want to put it in the house, it's given me a little bit more motivation. But I am loving it. I really, really am. Using the called for colors. So this one, because I am stitching, it's a longer project, a bigger project, I put all of my DMCs on floss drops. It's so much neater and easier to work with the flosses. So, and this one is being stitched on 40 count vintage country mocha Newcastle linen. Not as soft and drapey as the Belfast Murky, but a very pliable fabric. I really am enjoying the Newcastle linen. I need to make a chart of all the different linens. I know Fat Quarter Shop did a video on different fabrics, I believe, and the differences, and I was thinking I need to put that in a, I don't think they have one. I will double check. But I need to put all of that information in a grid, because there's so many more fabric choices from when I was stitching the last time I picked this up, which was probably 15-20 years ago, and it's a little confusing, and then I can make notations on which are my favorites, so that I know that if I run across a Newcastle linen, that I'm going to appreciate that linen and I can enjoy stitching on it. So I did have a new start. Tiger Lily Designs did her Sue bonnet is what she's calling it, spring. Now she said she was going to stitch this and then do a tutorial into a needle book. I liked that idea. And then I started thinking, because she showed a needle book that she would like to show, like do a tutorial on. It hasn't come out yet, but I found this fabric online. I showed this the last video. It's blue and it's got light blue or aqua cross-stitch hearts with the thread and the needle. So I want this to be the fabric for my needle book. And I want her to be the centerpiece on the front of it. I'm stitching this on, I believe it's 16 count, it might be 18 count Aida. 16 or 18 count Aida. I think it's 16 count. And I changed the colors because I wanted to more coordinate. I pulled out, let me show you my colors. I pulled out these colors. And they may change as I go along, I don't know. But these are ones that I'm really considering. I had taken this really pretty cherry wine color and stitched where the light blue is, and it was too dark and I didn't like it. So I tore it all out and I restitched it in, I think it's Aqua by Weeks Dye Works. A lot of variegation in this one. But I started restitching it. And then I'm doing the actual dress itself in a blue Americana by Weeks Dye Works. So a nice royal blue, because I wanted it to coordinate with the fabric. And I'm so much happier with this. Very quick stitch. Would have been quicker if I didn't mess up and had to restart the colors, but I'd rather take the time to pull it out and restitch it. But this is just a peek of what it will look like. I think it's going to be really nice. I'm very excited about it. So we'll see. We'll see how she turns out. If I like her, I may stitch her again and do another needle book. I don't know. We'll see. So that was my new start. I'd like to get her done so that when I am starting to do my next set of finishing with the sewing machine, I can get her done as well. So we'll see. A little bit of haul came in. The last of my market order finally arrived. Yay! I'm so excited. I ordered these flosses, and now it's been a hot minute, so I don't quite remember who did what, but I believe that these are the floss colors that were designed by different cross-stitch designers. They were picked. So we've got Field of Green, Classic Colorworks. Really nice, bright, springy green, variegated, almost a Kelly green. Storm Lake Sunrise, a really nice orangey coral color, a little bit of pink undertones. Priscilla's Peppermint. Now this one was from Stitching with the Housewives, so there's quite a bit of variegation. A really pretty pink. This might go into Sunbonnet Sue, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. And Cottage Daisies, and this one might actually go into. It's like the yellow I was looking for that I couldn't find. A little bit of variegation, nice buttery yellows, real pretty. So those came, very excited. And then I ordered 2 patterns from Kathy, by Kathy Barrick. The first one is Frankie. I'm not sure. I think what gets me is when the designers, so Kathy and Liz Matthews from Liz Matthews, mother-daughter, they were talking about this, and she just went on and on and on about all the different little things that she went through to finish it. And her sample in the video even looks better than this. And I thought, oh, for Easter he would be perfect. So I picked up Frankie. And then I picked up Majestic Birds. Again, in the video it looked so much better, the sample, than it does in this photo. What got me is the stitcher that made the sample changed her design and did specialty stitches here, and I love it. So I thought, okay, we can do that. If you stitch it on 20 or 40 count, it's just about 10 by 10. If you stitch it on 18 or 36 count, you're looking at about 11 by 11. 16 and 32 count, 12 by 12. I may do that one. I tend to like to stitch things on the smaller fabrics just because I feel like it'll give me more wall space to use and hang things up. But I like this one enough that I just might go 32 count, 12 by 12. Although I have a really nice 40 count, really deep mossy green, and this might really look good on that. We'll have to think about it. I'm not ready to start stitching it yet, so I've got time. Also, I think my floss fix came through. Yes, Classic Colorworks from a Fat Quarter Shop. It's a monthly subscription. April colors came in: Barn Door, Barrel Cactus, Bean Sprout, Bejeweled, Bella Rosa, and Betty Bluebell. Betty Bluebell, a really pretty blue. Bella Rosa. This is a really nice beigey, peachy with a little bit of pink going through. Think Shabby Chic. That's what it reminds me of. So if you have a stitch that you want it to look really like a Shabby Chic with the soft beiges and tans and browns and pinks and peaches, that would be a really good color. Bejeweled, a gorgeous, I don't even think the color is going to show up well on this. It's a really pretty, like deep emerald green. It's still not wanting to show up really well. It's beautiful. I think it's my favorite one out of this whole thing. Bean sprout. Nice bright yellowy green. Barrel cactus. And barn door. Reds. Faded red. Think of a faded red denim. That's what it reminds me of. So yeah, so that's it for me regarding stitchy stuff. I want to say that the weather is really nice here today, and so I decided everything came in that I needed to wash my vintage quilt. And so I started that process last night. It was a process, and I discovered that my tub doesn't really hold the water. So it's fine if you're taking a bath, you know, that's not a big deal. But when you want to soak something, it's not so great. So I will insert some photos, the before photo of how dingy and grubby it looked. I put it in the water, and the water immediately turned yellow, and it had a smell like I know, it kind of reminded me of like stale cigarette smoke. My grandmother was a smoker, but I didn't smell it in the quilt before, so I thought that was kind of interesting. So I filled it up, let it soak for an hour, and then I drained it all out, filled it up again, added my Retro Clean to it each time, dissolved it. I actually added a little bit of OxyClean too, and I let it soak, and then I went back in before I went to bed. I went to bed kind of late, and I went back in and I filled it up some more, and then when my daughter came home, I asked her, you know, I texted her, I'm like, oh, when you come home, can you just add water to the tub? Cold water, it'll be fine. And she did, and then this morning it was pretty much all drained out except for a few little puddles in the quilt itself. So I filled it up, added some more Retro Clean, and actually I rinsed it first, and I added some more Retro Clean and let it soak most of the morning, and then I started rinsing it, and now I have it out in the sun drying, and it's brightening up, and I am so thrilled with how it is turning out. I will insert photos of what it looked like each of those 3 steps. I've got the before, the right when I dropped it in the water, and it laying out in the sun. And then when it's all done and dried, I will take another photo. It did hold up really well. I'm very pleased. The areas on the back that were already really thin and deteriorating got a tiny bit worse, but really it is in excellent condition. I am so happy with how it's turning out, and I can't wait to get it right up here. So hopefully in the next couple weeks I will be able to do that. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about is who I have been watching lately. I've been meaning to do this with all of the videos and I keep forgetting. So who I watched this last week, I watched Carolyn Stitches. I watched her March video. I haven't watched her April video yet. But in her March video, she had the most adorable drum. I believe it's like a holiday themed stitch, and I loved it. She's got some really nice projects that she's working on. Of course, the Proper Stitcher. She and I have very, very similar tastes in stitching, I think, and she's actually inspired me and enabled me to buy some patterns that I normally maybe wouldn't have ordered, just because they're so cute, or the way she's finished them is really, really cute. Annabella's, that's where I get a lot of my charts from. A lot of times I go there because she's got Bella bundles, and I've ordered a couple of those, and she's pretty quick ship. Just really kind of fun to watch her videos, see what she's up to. Sage Butterfly Designs. She has got the cutest dog ever, and she does sorry, a phone's ringing. She designs patterns, and she has some really fun stitches that she's working on, so she's always fun to watch and check out. Cross Stitch Farmhouse, she does a video about once a month, but she has some really fun stitches too, and it's always fun to catch up with her. Sampler Style, that is a new one that I stumbled across, and she has a bunch of samplers that she's working on and kitting up, and they're beautiful, and you should go check her out if you haven't done so already. And the Crazy Band Lady, her name I believe is Zan. It's spelled X-A-N. I'm not sure, and I apologize if that's incorrect. She did a unboxing. The video that I watched was an unboxing. The theme is the Gilmore Girls. I'm not sure where it's from, but she got so excited opening up the box and talking about different things. I definitely am going to go back and check out some more of her videos. And then, of course, Lindy Stitches. She's got a super cute personality and some really cool designs that are unique and different, and her stitching is beautiful. The way that she uses color with her designs is amazing. So make sure you check her out if you haven't done so already. She did her very first virtual retreat this past year, and she called it the Jingle Ball, and she's already planning for this December coming up, and I'm seriously contemplating taking time off work to do it. So we'll see how that all works out and what it looks like, but I think that would be really fun to attend, and she's hilarious. I just love her. She likes birds like I do, so I mean there's a lot going on there. The other one that I have been watching quite a bit of, Stitching in the Land of Good Enough. She has a store in Massachusetts, I believe, and she lives across the border in Rhode Island. She loves backyard birds like I do. She turned me on to the ornithology lab at Cornell University has an app where you can identify birds by their song. So, of course, I had to download that just because I find birds fascinating, and I have no idea why, but I do, and they're so beautiful. In fact, I just put out my a brand new bird feeder. I've never had a well, that's not true. I did have a bird feeder once before. But a new bird feeder I put out, and I'm right outside on my window of my craft room, and I'm hoping that it attracts some birds while I'm here, because that would be really cool to see while I'm crafting. Anyways, I digress. Stitching in the Land of Good Enough. She owns her own shop, and she's got some really cute things that she's working on. She's hilarious to listen to. If you haven't found her already, please go check her out. I will list all of these people in the box below, so make sure you check them out. Anyways, that's it for me. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will be back next week. Next week starts my crazy late spring, early summer work from, you know what, it's not going to be great. I will definitely bring videos to you. If I can't film on a Thursday or a Friday night, I will definitely film on Saturday, but they might not be uploading until Sunday. So just be patient with me. They will come. I do plan on stitching. Not sure how much I'll get done, but I do plan on stitching because this is what relaxes me. So anyways, thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Enjoy whatever it is that you've got planned, and have a great weekend or a week, and happy stitching. Bye.